This is the Astros Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Houston Astros, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
You know, every once in a while you go out there and you get your butt kicked and you get shut down by the opposing pitcher. And tonight was one of those nights where the Astros faced a starting pitcher in Seth Lugo, who absolutely dominated them basically the entire night, all but one inning. And their bullpen, of course, does the job behind him to get a victory, a 2-0 victory on a night where your pitching staff gave you every chance in the world to go ahead and win a baseball game. You just could not do a thing at the plate in this one. And it is always frustrating as a fan and a supporter, a watcher, whatever, of this baseball team when these kind of games happen. As the winning streak, is snapped at 3, and they will have to look to start a new one tomorrow in Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series there in Kansas City, as Framber Valdez will toe the rubber for the Stros in that one. Hello and welcome tonight to the Locked On Astros Postcast. I'm your host, Michael Connor. If you're new to this show, thank you for joining us, whether it's live or later on. Always, of course, make sure that you're subscribed to this Locked On Astros YouTube page. You guys can join us after every single game. We are live here on this channel. Every once in a while on a blue moon, there will be a game that we will not be live for, but I will tell you this weekend, everything looks good to be on and going for every game in this series. Hopefully, you're going to be talking about some wins at some point because, well, that was not a lot of fun tonight. It's terrible to say. It really is terrible to say. But when you talk about what you're going to be talking about from this one, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I have an answer.
This is what you'll be talking about.
You know what you're going to be talking about. It's the fact that the bats went back to ice cold and they couldn't do a darn thing tonight. And like I mentioned to start the show there, I know because I am like all of you guys. I've been a fan of the Astros since I was born. Now, my level of fandom, I will admit, I think has changed throughout the years. It's still a fan. But all the years being super close to it, being on the radio, on the flagship station, being there, being around, changes everything a little bit. Not as like live or die every single day necessarily of, I'm just going to be so mad and rage and go punch a hole through my wall back there. That was an old me. I'm also a little bit older now. I'm in my 30s and, you calm down when you're in your 30s, I feel like, compared to when you're in your 20s. You're a little bit feistier when you're in your 20s. You're more established in life. You're doing things in life. So you don't get so angry about you stop sweating all the small things like a night where you lose 2-0. I will say the disappointing thing from tonight is, and I mentioned this a couple of days ago when we did our last show when the Astros finished off the sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays. I think the most disappointing part about this is that, Kansas City came into this one fresh off of a doubleheader yesterday. And, you're kind of hoping that, man, they'd be gassed and they didn't have anything at the plate. I can tell you that. But you were just hoping that, you get to their bullpen early. Yesterday, I was going to pull up the number here, exactly how many pitchers Kansas City used in their doubleheader against the Colorado Rockies. They used in MLB.com is nice and slow. I just absolutely love their website. It's the worst. Yesterday in their first game, they used 5 pitchers. In game 2, they used 3. So they used, 5 in the first one? They used 8 pitchers yesterday. 8. And they had multiple bullpen guys go multiple innings. They had a guy go 2 innings in game 2. They had 2 guys go 2 innings in game 1. And then they used 3 other guys out of the bullpen. That's the frustrating part, is that this was set up as a game where you are primed to win, you'd think. And it just doesn't even get to the point where you make life difficult on them at all. And again, I don't like it. I know all of you don't like it. You can't always just be mad at one side of it and say it's only one side's fault as to why it had this because the Astros stink, the Astros this, the Astros whatever. Seth Lugo was an all-star last year. He's not been as great to start his 2025 as he was in 2024, but he's been solid. And you know, he pitched tonight like the all-star that he was last year. And I actually have a surprise for all of you. For those of you that have been with this show since last year, for the first time in the 2025 season, something has happened real quick. Hold on. Coco is back, people. Our rally Chihuahua is making her first appearance of 2025. Hopefully she's going to get the Astros back in a place where they go ahead and hit. If you're new to this show and you weren't with us last season when we did it, Coco would make appearances on the show. She'd come in here in the room when I'm doing the show and usually just sit over here and cry at me until I'd pick her up. And tonight she has decided to grace us with her presence. I am shocked. She's usually asleep by now. So hopefully this little girl right here, Coco, is going to bring some luck back to us. Because every time we brought her on the show last year, the Astros would win the next day. I went back and looked at, I think it was, they lost like once after she made an appearance on the show. I actually went and looked at it. So there you go. For those of you who are wondering, where's Coco? There's Coco. She's back. It'd be nice if she was actually the rally dog for them tomorrow. If they could get their bats back and hope. I mean, the good news is you don't have to face Seth Lugo again tomorrow. That's the good news. I'm trying to give you something positive here. You can still go out there. You can still win this series. You just need 2 or 3, of course. Kansas City's been off to a up and down start to their season. The Astros kind of the same. The Astros, the team that's been playing better ball of late. Now 13-12 on the year. But those are the kind of issues, of course, that we've talked about quite a bit. Is that this team is going to have nights where offensively it's going to frustrate the what out of you. They just don't have the overall, I think, kind of bats in the lineup that are going to be insanely consistent all the time. It is what it is. I think it's going to be their identity in 2025. And it's going to suck. We're going to hate it a lot of nights. My biggest question now, we're in, how many games are we in? What did I say? 13 and 12, 25 games into the season? Can we get some power on this baseball team? Can we see some home runs on this baseball team, please? I know that, tonight's not the night to be asking for because, again, you get shut down. But, if there's a trend that I have really not liked, it's the fact that they just aren't hitting the ball over the fence at all. Not that hitting the ball over the fence is everything, but they're just not doing it. And, of course, no home runs again tonight. On the season as a team, they've hit 19 through 25 games. That's incredible. They just so low. I mean, I haven't even looked at where the exact numbers are team-wise, but I would imagine it's about as low as it gets in Major League Baseball to only have 19 home runs at this point. They have, as I predicted, they're tied 25th or 26th with the White Sox and the Marlins. The only teams with less home runs are the Blue Jays. And guess who they just played tonight? The Kansas City Royals. Yikes. So tomorrow, I'm going to ask for a few things. I'm going to ask for them to not be so bad, and I'm going to ask them for them to hit the ball over the fence a little bit. Please. I want to be greedy. Let me be greedy for a second and get me some of that. You're going to need Jordan to get his thing going, of course, to make that happen because he's kind of the key to the machine there when it comes to the power for this baseball team. Let's take a look at tomorrow's baseball game, how you bounce back from it, what the bats need to do, and Framber Valdez being on the mound. We'll do that next here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Did you know? Got something cool for you guys, of course. Your Fire TV is also an Xbox. Turn your TV into your gaming console, your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, and Avowed. as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. With Wi-Fi 6/6E and auto low latency mode, advanced technology, Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds that you need to stay competitive. 4K streaming, you can watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. Play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of a console. If you already have a console, a Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take you or your kids' games wherever you plug in. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV or Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and complete compatible controller is required. Available on select devices including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Astros Postcast continues here for a few more minutes as the Astros fall tonight to the Kansas City Royals by a final of 2-0. Shut out are the Astros. You hate to see that. It's never fun to get shut out. You would prefer the Astros have been on the other end of shutting people out recently. They darn near shut out the Blue Jays for 3 consecutive days. They gave up a total of 2 runs in that series, which was pretty darn awesome for this team so far this season. That is that's the first time they have been shut out so far this season. They've scored 5 times. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times they scored less than 3 runs. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 of their 25 games they scored 3 or less runs. I know we're a little optimistic right now. We're feeling better, but man, that is not a good number to be 25 games in and have scored 3 or less 16 times. Long term, that is not something that is sustainable. That is not something that is sustainable to winning at a high level because your pitching is just not going to be able to sustain keeping teams down that often. You know, you're going to have injuries pop up. You're going to have poor performances at some point. They'll go into slumps just like the hitting does. And that is, I think, as kindly as I can put it. Excuse me. It might happen again. Sometimes you just got to sneeze in the middle of the show. The Astros made me sneeze a lot tonight watching them play. It's probably the stuff in the air, but what was in the air was bad baseball. Tomorrow now, they're going to face this Kansas City team again. It's going to be a 6:10 first pitch tomorrow night, so we'll be a little bit earlier. Look, I always say it, if you're going to lose fast. They lost in 2 hours tonight. Selfishly, I love it. I'll be asleep by 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm going to bed at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. Don't be jealous. 6:10 tomorrow, Framber Valdez against Michael Wacha. Wacha's got no wins this season, got ERA over 4. Framber, not very good, 4.5 ERA on the season. They need Framber to have a Framber night. He needs to get deep. He needs to be the ace type of guy. He's not the ace anymore. Hunter Brown's the ace of this team now. He needs to be an ace type of guy and get them back with that cushion so they can hand it off to the ace on Sunday and have a chance to win another series instead of trying to salvage 1 out of 3 this weekend. Of course, again, when the game ends tomorrow night, we will be live right here on this same channel talking about it. Programming note, I will be doing that during, of course, when the Rockets are playing. If you want to hear Rockets discussion tomorrow night, the Locked On Sports Houston page where we did this show last year, still around, still there. I will be live there tomorrow night as well after Rockets and Golden State Warriors Game 3, the first round of the Western Conference playoffs, as the Rockets look to take a 2-1 lead in that series. So make sure you head over to that channel, hit the subscribe button because you get 2 of me tomorrow night. You'll have this show and you will have that show over there as well. So looking forward to hopefully 2 wins tomorrow night. We're due for 2 wins in a night. Yeah, I like to be selfish with it, and I'm going to be selfish with it again tomorrow night. So join us tomorrow night as soon as the game ends again. We'll be breaking it down, hopefully, what is a win for the Astros in Game 2 of this 3-game series. You guys have a great rest of your Friday night. We'll talk again tomorrow night. Locked On Astros Postcast.